So I just got something new in here today, and I wanted to do a quick review of it as I open it up here and take a look at it. So this is a holster from Versacarry, and it's one of their leather holsters. I believe this is the Guardian model with the magazine pouch included on it. It's an outside the waistband holster. So I did want to just go ahead and take a look at this, kind of get some initial impressions. I'm going to try to be careful as I open it here because I don't want to cut into the holster itself. And we're going to take a look here and see what we got. So all right, so they have their instructions here on what you're supposed to do with the holster. Which is basically, of course, they're telling you safety, make sure that the gun's not loaded and all that. To shape it, how to place it in there by holding the grip and twisting it side to side until you get it all the way past the trigger guard. And then for optimal results, it looks like they're saying to let it, basically you're supposed to leave it in the holster for 48 hours, allowing it to kind of mold around the shape of the handgun. So I actually bought this with a specific handgun in mind, but I'm not 100% sure it's going to work with that one. So like I said, I believe this is called their Guardian model. It comes with a magazine pouch, and I think this is their Formula One is what they call it, like look or style. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the gun that my intention is to use, but may not be able to because of the I actually have a laser mounted on this one right now, and so I don't know that it's going to work because they don't have it really shaped to take a laser, and that looks like it's going to be pretty tight. So we'll see though. If I can get it to work on that one, that'll be great. If not, I have another gun that I can utilize instead. So the gun I wanted to try and see if I could use here is the Jericho 941, or the Baby Eagle is another name for it. They don't really call it that anymore because I think now that went over to Magnum Research, and they're the ones who still use that Baby Eagle name. But originally, I believe it was IWI that basically was making the Baby Eagle for Magnum Research initially, and basically they still kept the rights to the design as well, and it's the same design in essence. So some people still refer to this as a Baby Eagle, but it's a Jericho 941. So I did want to go ahead and just see if this is going to work, but I'm a little unsure of that, basically because of having the laser on there. In fact, you know what? That actually looks like it might work even with the laser. So you can see there that, one thing I should do here, just obviously anytime I'm carrying a gun and I'm going to do anything with it, I've already checked it multiple times myself, but I know on video it's a good idea to just show you that I've done the proper steps. Of course, empty mag, and then locking this back. You can see here, if I can get the right light on the chamber, but it's an empty chamber. There's nothing in there. And so this is a safe weapon at this point. So just to show you that I'm not messing with a loaded gun on camera, you should always have safety first in mind when you're dealing with a firearm. Now, okay, it did not activate it. I was going to say the other thing to worry about is whether or not, because that laser is actually activated by pushing a button on either side of it, I was a little concerned that maybe the holster itself would actually activate the laser, but it doesn't look like that's the case. So that being said, as far as the holster itself goes, I'm really happy that it looks like it will fit even with the laser on it. So if you buy one of these holsters, as long as you have one of these smaller lasers that fits on the rail up pretty snug, it looks like you shouldn't have any problem getting it in the holster. They don't advertise it as such that will work, but it's good to know that it will. I'm going to drop the mag out of this, go ahead and put this back in. And of course, the plan is to let it sit there so it'll shape to that gun. And then just to see here, make sure that we're not going to have any problem with the magazine fitting in there as well, which it looks like it does. And that's pretty tight as well. So overall, really pleased with this as far as the fact that it fits the gun that I got it for. I had a backup as well, 45. This is a 9mm. So I did have a 45 in mind that if it did not fit this with the laser on it, I was going to use it for the 45 instead. But I'm glad that this actually fits. So that's a good thing. So the holster itself, the review is about the holster, not the gun. I'm glad it fits the gun that I bought it for, but I do want to just look at the holster real quickly. So I did get the black version with the brown accent. You can also get this with the distressed brown as your main leather and a black accent. I just thought it might look a little nicer with the black, and I'm glad I went with that. I do like the look of that a little better than the overall distressed brown. The leather itself is fairly thick. You can see here, it is kind of 2-ply leather here on the backing to make that a little extra firm. And then you've got just the single ply here for the pouches. You do have openings in the bottom here, so that's kind of nice in case you ever got any moisture, dirt, or anything down in there, which hopefully you don't with your magazine anyway. But if you did, it gives it some way to fall out. As you could see, it did fit very well with the gun that I have. Now, they have a sizing option when you buy these holsters, so you can pick either your model of handgun, or you can pick a model that's similar. If you have something in maybe a brand that is less common, they may not have it on the list, you can basically pick something that has similar dimensions, and it should fit just fine for you. So for the price point of this thing, usually you can get sales on Versacarry anywhere from 10, 20, up to 40% off. I actually think I might have got this one at 40% off. So I was able to pick this one up at what I consider a reasonable price. It was right around, I believe, the $40 mark that I paid for this. You can even pick it up cheaper sometimes when they're running a good sale, and they're usually running good sales. So that's, you know, that's something just to be aware of. You can kind of keep an eye out for when they're running a sale. But so far, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. I do want to actually follow up once I get this thing formed well around the pistol, and I've got a chance to actually wear it and use it. I will follow up with just some quick thoughts then, just to wrap the video up and let you know my overall thoughts. But initial impressions are really good. It looks like good quality leather. I don't see any problems with the stitching. I've made myself some homemade sheaths for knives. I've never made one for a gun yet. I had thought about doing that, but when you can pick one of these up for such a good price, honestly, by the time I buy the leather that I would use and everything to make it myself, I'm not coming out that much ahead of just buying one that's already made. And so I figured, you know, that would be a good opportunity for me to just check out the Versacarry and see what I thought. So far, I'm impressed. Again, initial impressions. I will update the video here before I post it, after I've had a chance to actually wear it and use it a little bit. All right, having had a chance to wear this thing a little bit now, I thought I would go ahead and kind of give my final thoughts on it. So I will say that I do like the holster. It's a really well-made holster. Holds the gun really well. I actually surprisingly haven't been having trouble with it activating the laser on this thing, except for, interestingly enough, sometimes when I draw it, it activates as I draw it and the laser's already on when I pull the gun. So that actually is a benefit, if anything. It's kind of nice not having to worry about turning the laser on because it's already on. But other than that, really well made. Seems to fit fairly comfortably. The only thing that I would go ahead and just want to make sure people are aware of before buying this particular model that also has the mag pouch. So, and I mean, this stands to reason. I probably could have known this without having to experience it. But if you're going to wear this, in my case, I'm right-handed. If you're going to wear this on your strong hand like that, I use my front right pocket for a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff in that pocket typically. And positioning this thing properly on your hip for being able to draw the weapon easily, it's going to basically, this mag pouch is blocking my right hand pocket. So I have no access to my pocket, which means I have to rearrange how I carry stuff when I'm wearing this holster. I think had I gotten just a holster without the extra mag pouch on it, that probably wouldn't have been an issue. And then maybe a better solution would to be getting a separate mag pouch to wear on my left-hand side, which honestly would make it easier to get to that mag for a reload anyway. Not that it's difficult with this one, but it's not as natural. So, but otherwise, as far as the holster itself goes, you know, it seems to have shaped rather well to the firearm, and it's, of course, I haven't worn it a whole lot, so I can't talk about longevity, But based on everything I'm seeing here, this thing looks quality. It's got nice quality leather. It's got good solid stitching. I don't see any reason why this thing isn't going to last a really long time. It's very well made, very good quality. And if you can get a good sale, get this at a good price point, I can absolutely recommend it. I think this is a good quality leather holster. Like I said, with the one caveat that because of how much wider it is with that extra mag pouch, if you're like me and you use your front right pocket, you're going to lose some of that real estate because this will be sitting right over top the opening of your pocket, which makes it pretty much near impossible to get your hand into your pocket because it's being blocked. So, but as far as the holster itself, quality, top marks for that. I think it's a great holster and I highly recommend it.